All right, now in this example, we're asked to find the rational number that is halfway between both of these numbers, or in other words, the number in the middle. So it's very similar, just to give like a much easier example. If we had had to find the number between 3 and 5, you can probably tell at a glance that the number between 3 and 5 is 4. But how would we figure that out algebraically when it's not so obvious, like in this example? Well, what you do is you take the first number, you add it to your second number, and then you divide by 2. You basically take the average, and that's going to be the number that's right in between them. And notice here, 3 plus 5 is 8, divided by 2, 4, which we already knew. So we can use this for harder examples like this right here, the negative 1/7 and the negative 1/8. So I'm going to take negative 1/7 and add it to negative 1/8 and divide by 2. Now remember, when you add negative numbers, you just add them and keep the sign. But in order to add two fractions, the denominators have to match. So the way I can go about doing that is, since I need these to match, I'll multiply this fraction on the top and bottom by 8. Notice I can do that because all I'm really doing is multiplying by 1. And I'll multiply this one by 7. Again, I'm just multiplying by 1. Now that works because on the bottom over here, I'm going to have 8 times 7, whatever that is, and I'm going to have 8 times 7 over here, so the bottoms match even before I find that number. So over here, I'm going to have negative 8 over 8 times 7 is 56, plus negative 7 over 56. And remember, this is still all over 2. Now when the denominators match, I just combine the tops. So negative 8 plus negative 7, that's going to be negative 15 over 56, and then remember, we're still dividing by 2. So when you divide a fraction by another fraction, you might be wondering, well, what other fraction? I can write this as 2 over 1. And the reason I want to do that is because if you're dividing a fraction by another fraction, you just keep the top, don't change it, but you can flip the bottom and then just multiply straight across. So negative 15 times 1 is negative 15. And 56 times 2 is 112. Now, I don't think that can reduce any, but let's see. 56 was 8 times 7, so I'll even write that down here. 15 is 3 times 5, so if you look at that, nothing on top divides with anything on the bottom, and it doesn't happen as soon as I multiply by 1 on top or 2 on the bottom still. There's no common factors. So our final result is negative 15 over 112. That is the most reduced fraction, and it is the number that's halfway between negative 1/7 and negative 1/8. And that's this example.